Everybody Hates Rand is a Wheel of Time podcast that will contain spoilers for all 14 books. So if you're anti-spoiler, pause this, read all 14 books, and come back. We'll be here, waiting.
Our title is a joke and is meant to be taken as such. In the context of this podcast, everybody refers to us and our cat. You are free to feel however you want about Rand, who is a fictional character. Don't DM us.
The world is a mess, Dark One stretching out his hand. The dragon's reborn, the fire's been fanned, but everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand.
I know you didn't think that you'd grown.
I'm not a total fool.
4 inches. Oh, why did I start a microphone? I'm eating this Hershey's Kiss.
I think it's 4 inches.
Let's say there's 3 inches.
Yeah, I think they're 3.
What's your height normally?
I like to say it's 5'5", but I think that's ambitious.
That can't be true because I am about 5'5.5".
What?
I am.
I feel like that's not true. Every time I've been measured, they tell me I'm 5'5". Have people been lying to me?
Either that or they've been lying to me.
I thought you were like 5'9".
No.
Or like 5'8".
Sarah's 5'9", I think.
Because, yeah, Veronica's 5'9" or 5'10".
Veronica's not 5'9" or 5'10".
That's what she's always told me. I feel like one of us has a crucial misunderstanding of
Do you want me to go get the tape measure right now? I know I'm 5'6".
Okay, go get the tape measure.
Oh my fucking god.
Hi, Tibble. I can't wait to see just how badly I understand.
We could do this live.
Should we do it on the live stream?
No. We're committed now. Okay.
Can we measure how tall Tybalt is?
Here is 5'6".
Weird.
Well, I've been proven right.
Yeah,
y'all.
she is right. I've been
I
right
am
too.
5'6". Veronica, Sally's friend, is 5'4" at the most.
No, Veronica is not 5'4". Veronica's really tall.
Listen, I understand the confusion from me because I'm a disproportionate human being. You know, of that 5'6", 4 feet of those are my
true.
legs.
Maybe that's why I think you're so. It's like how I thought your dad was like 8 feet tall.
Yeah,
my
dad
leg.
is 6 feet flat, and everyone's like, he's 6'9", and I'm like,
No,
nope.
he's just got long legs.
That's just his long legs and his sort of intimidating outlook.
This means that everybody at the DMV and the doctor's office has lied to me my entire life.
We could measure you after this. You just have to take your heels off.
I know.
I know you, but you don't have to do that. This whole thing started because right before I turned on the recording, Sally was like, I'm taller than you, standing next to me because she's wearing 3-inch heels. I've always thought you were about 5'3".
This is blowing my mind. I would love to be 5'3". Are you kidding me?
Really?
Because I just feel like there's so much power in being 5'3". That's how tall Nicki Minaj is.
Ooh, that's true. If it's Nicki Minaj's height, then...
I also just, I've always felt like I had a lot of, like, angry small person energy. But when you say you're 5'5", you're not really, like, a short person.
Yeah, because the average height for women is, like, 5'4", I think.
Oh, my God. This must mean my coworker Gabriel is, like, 4'11".
Oh, is he tiny?
He is tiny.
And Gethin is, like,
Gethin
9
is
feet tall.
6'3", as he loves to tell anybody. He told me for a while that was just his Tinder profile.
Gethin is also a disproportionately shaped person, so he kind of also looks like he's 6'7" rather than 6'3".
Yeah, he's a tall boy.
Having long legs does, in fact, add 4 inches to your height. Anyway, yeah, my older sister is 5'9".
Yeah, Sarah's powerful.
Sarah's very tall, maybe a little taller than her husband, who
That's very powerful.
who has at least 2 inches of hair height.
That's true.
Yeah, the way it goes in my... Adam's 6 foot even, I think. Maybe a bit taller. It goes Adam, Dad, Mom, Sarah, me, Anne. Anne's the only one who's shorter than me.
This is blowing my mind.
I know.
Maybe I just don't have any concept of space. I think that's true.
I don't
think
know.
I'm an idiot. You can say so.
No, I don't think you're an idiot at all. I just think that height is something I've been particularly, like, I've been very careful to document my, like, to measure my own height and to keep an eye on it because I thought I would be taller. Because when you have legs like these, it's like, where are they going to go, homie?
Yeah.
And then when you turn out to only be 5'6", it's like, oh, well, this has been sort of disappointing, but also I wouldn't want to be any taller, you know?
Yeah. Maybe it really is just an optical illusion.
It might be.
Because your legs are they're that long.
I'm also taller than most of the women I'm friends with, so I'm always very confused when I'm with my current friend group because they're all taller than me except for Janet. Because Nikki's like 5'10".
It's all very fascinating.
So anyway, that was our monologue about height. Welcome to Everybody Hates Rand, which actually is a podcast all about people's height because we just talk about it constantly. Did I say this is Everybody Hates Rand?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a friendly neighborhood Wheel of Time podcast. Also a friendly neighborhood height fan cast.
Yeah.
Did you know one of the ladies in Charlie's Angels is 5'11"?
Good for her.
I know, she always wears boots, so she's like 6'3".
That's very sexy.
She's very powerful.
That's very sexy, and I feel great about that.
I know, I was like, oh, damn.
There's no way my friend Lauren is 5'8" then.
Did you ask them
Yes.
how tall they are?
I'm so upset about this. See, Veronica said she's 5'9".
5'8", 5'9". How tall does Bree
Bree's
think
like
she is?
5'1". Bree,
Yeah,
I think,
Bree's
has
tiny.
a concept of how tall she is.
Maybe I've never interacted with Veronica with both of us standing up.
Veronica's pretty tall.
She does have...
She's not as tall as Gall.
My problem is that unless people are significantly taller than me, I don't like...
Yeah.
I put more stock in people's presence, I think. Especially if I don't see them very often. Like, Bree in my head is 6'5".
That's true. Bree is a god presence.
Because she's so powerful.
Bree has kicked my ass on multiple occasions.
Yeah, Bree's real cool. You all know Bree,
She was
other
on our
friend of the
podcast,
podcast.
yeah.
She was on our
One
podcast.
of only 2 guests, I think, ever. Oh, Cambria, 3.
3. Who's our third?
Sarah McClintock.
Yeah, Sarah McClintock. One day we'll expand. We have big plans in the work for Devin, friend of the podcast. This might be the first time he's hearing about it if I don't edit this out of the podcast.
Hi, Devin, you're going to be on the podcast. Did you know?
Anyway, Devin's brilliant, but he has been spending the last hour sending me Shrek fan art, so... This is not to slander Devin. Apparently he was doing it for work. That's one of those things that Devin is like, I'm doing this thing for work, and I'm like, I don't even want to fucking know what your workplace.
Tibble, do not knock the tape measure off.
tape measure over. Tibble, do you want to know how tall you are?
Yes.
Too late.
4 inches.
4 inches. He's so small.
Anyway, that's Emily. She's 5'6". I'm Sally. I might be 5'3".
But if you meet us, you'll think I'm 5'10".
I just always saw you were super tall and sexy.
Thank
now
you.
I don't think either of those things.
Oh, well, yeah, I know you do have...
It's a direct
It's a correlated relationship between height and sexiness.
Maybe I just thought you were so sexy.
I've always
I
wondered why
assumed.
you've been so insistent upon being with me, and now I've broken the illusion.
Time to pack up.
She's leaving tomorrow. I wake up and everything's gone. She left
Me
in
and
the
Tibble
night.
have gone. No, I'd leave Tibble. I'm mad at him.
Yeah, are you kidding me? I know you'd leave Tibble. Then you'd call me for, like, visitation rights.
Yeah,
but
obviously you can come on this weekend.
okay, yeah, so this is our Ding Dong podcast.
For ding dong.
For ding dongs. That might be our new tagline. We're here to talk about 3 chapters of The Shadow Rising because for some reason some idiot was like, I know, we'll read 3 chapters this week instead of 3 chapters last week when it would have made sense.
Hold on, I need to do a super zoom of Tibble in the kitchen sink.
And who was that idiot, you may ask? It was definitely me. How's the super zoom coming? I don't know anything about Instagram. Sally one day, 2 weeks ago, or whatever, was like, can you do this thing on Instagram for me? You all remember what it was. It was when she was like, can you do Good News Thursday for me? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that, because I'm a smart boy who knows the things about the internet. And then I tried to do it, and I sucked so fucking bad.
You did great. You just
I just don't know how to do stickers.
on the wrong foot.
It was a miracle that I remembered how to check people's responses to it. Sally was like, didn't I teach you this? And I was like, yes, you did teach it to me, but I'm a ding-dong.
It's okay, you don't know how to use Instagram. I don't know what height is.
Yeah, we all
I
have.
just know that I like it.
I wish you hadn't made that slurping noise.
Like a tall drink of water.
It sounded more like soup. Like you're just drinking a lot of soup.
Can of soup.
Have we told you guys about how we went to a restaurant a couple weeks ago before the ballet? The ballet?
Oh, yeah.
And it was 5 minutes before they closed, which was absurd because it was 5:55 on a Saturday.
Yeah, it was like, who closes at 6 on a Saturday?
But we got our food and just went into my car and ate it in the parking lot.
Yeah.
In the aquarium lighting of my car.
It's pretty funny.
You may be wondering, is Emily feeling better? Yes. That's why I'm so manic this episode.
That's good. I didn't read the chapters.
But that's fine, because they were useless.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay, so here's what happens. First, we pick up... What the fuck? Sorry. First, we pick up back with Perrin, where he's just been confronted by the reality that Aes Sedai are in the Two Rivers yet again.
Oh, shit.
He goes to meet them and finds out that it's Varen, who he knows, and Alana, who he has seen from a distance, and somehow he remembers her name, which is absurd because I can't even remember any of the Aes Sedai's names.
There's like 100,000 of them.
There are literally 1 million Aes Sedai, and they're like, there's not very many of us. And I'm like, there's 1,000 of you all, and you all have names that start with A.
Yeah.
And you all have dark hair and bosoms and whatever.
Big titties.
And titties, and you wear narrow dresses.
Divided for writing.
Divided for writing, and you have 6 warders. It's so confusing. Anyway, he doesn't know Alana, but he does also happen to remember that Edwene mentioned Alana and was like, yeah, I don't trust her. And it's like, first of all, this is fake news because I've never seen Perrin have a conversation with Edwene since the time he was like, maybe I should hit her with an axe to spare her suffering. They literally haven't even looked at each other.
Because I was like, you're going to kill me. And Perrin was like, yeah, because you're a woman. You can't make your own decisions.
Yeah, because I have agency over your body.
She was like, well...
And she was like,
no.
and killed him. And that's... Everything that's been happening with Perrin since then has been a dream.
Yeah.
He's a ghost.
He's a ghost because Egg stole his axe and chopped him up in the forest.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
What a fun twist that would be at the
Yeah.
end. They're like, one of you's been dead the whole time.
Yeah. Because you're a fucking sexist piece of shit.
Because you're such a shitty person.
Egg just killed you. Dead.
Anyway, Perrin's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And they're like, we're here literally hunting women who can channel. He's like, that's a little bit troubling. And they're like, yeah, we know. And that brings the whole, like, eugenics conversation back into it, because they're like, Sheriam thinks that the ability to channel has been culled out of the human race, but the only other option, apparently, was having men who can channel and or Aes Sedai just be having a shit ton of babies until this point. And so it's like, it's not just that they've been killing off men, although that's definitely a bad. It's also the fact that the Aes Sedai have had this, like, weird nun-like de-emphasis on family relationships, which feels a little bit like an attack on women who prioritize things other than family. But
like, I feel like that's an argument people make so much about the quote-unquote feminist movement, that it's like, oh, they're just gonna get to the point where they, like, don't have babies and it's a problem for the human race. Have you ever heard that argument?
No, yeah, I've heard that, and it's so hilariously absurd to me, because I remember being 10 and thinking overpopulation was a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
Like, I read The Giver or something and was like, damn, we're gonna overpopulate the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're pretty damn close, y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
there's 7 billion people.
There's 7 billion people on this planet, and clearly the planet cannot sustain all of us. I'm not arguing for any mass killings or anything, because that's bad news. But I'm saying, if we naturally stopped having as many children because some of us weren't as interested in it, that wouldn't be a bad thing for the planet. Or the human race, or anyone. There would be more jobs. Like, what the fuck? Just let humanity take its course. And if that course is that, oh, hey, women don't actually want to be having 12 kids in their lifetime, That was for the Middle Ages, y'all.
It's because most kids didn't
When
survive past 3.
8 of them would be dead by the time they would not survive.
Yeah.
You have 12 pregnancies, and in fact, at Christmas, there are only 2 children.
It's awful.
It's awful. It's Charles Dickens propaganda.
It's true. Don't let Charles Dickens influence the way you think about women's bodies.
Okay.
It's a really bad model.
That was a fun sidebar, but we're back.
Was it a sidebar? I feel like it's very relevant.
Yeah, it was pretty relevant, especially because we're in the Two Rivers, which is a very, like, conservative, like, women are only involved in the family unit. It's pretty buck wild for them to, like, come across the Aes Sedai and Fail, who are, like, unmarried women.
Yeah. Fun, weird little tidbit from the land of cultural institutions. I had to sit in on a meeting about memberships, which I don't even work on memberships, so I don't know why I was there. But one of the organizations involved in the meeting talked about how they're moving away from names like family membership because, like, it shouldn't be up to them to decide what a family looks like.
That's cool.
So instead it's just, like, number of people. Like, you can buy however many people and kids you want instead of trying to, like, be like, my family unit has 2 adults and 3 children. You can be like, you don't have to be like husband, wife, 3 kids. You can be like 2 adults, 3 children.
Yeah, a family could be so many things. Could be a group of 20-somethings playing Dungeons and Dragons. That's many of us these days. It could be 2 women with a podcast and a cat. And so many Wheel of Time books.
We do have a lot of them.
We have so many. Is he just
sitting in the sink? Literally just in the kitchen.
He sits in the sink. You're fine. You just minimize the window. That's you screaming. Tybalt sits in each sink as though it is a jacuzzi. Doesn't he look like an old man lounging in a jacuzzi?
Yes.
Getting wrinkled. Pruny.
Sorry, I drank water right as Emily said that. Okay.
I didn't drink water. I'm just recovering from the plague. Like, look at him. He's looking up at the faucet. Like, he's like,
where are my water jets?
Let the rain fall to wake my dreams.
Let it wash away my insanity.
Is it my insanity?
I thought so. Is it not?
It makes a lot more sense than what I've been singing in my head all this time, which is my sanity.
Oh. Maybe it is my sanity.
I hope not. Otherwise, that's troubling. Let the rain make me literally insane.
Okay. Rain makes me crazy. Rain gives me headaches, which makes me crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wish you could enjoy the rain.
I know, I love the rain aesthetically, but the barometric pressure drops and it's like, your head is a grape and I've smashed it.
Oh. We should play more Kirby, alright?
Oh my god, we should play more Kirby.
Should that be what I'm doing when we start the live?
Yeah. Be like, Tybalt's in the sink, and Emily's playing Kirby and Red.
It's a typical day in the neighborhood. Okay, fuck! I have to talk about the dumb chapters.
Yeah, you got 34 minutes to wrap this all the way up.
Okay, so Aes Sedai, blah bitty blah blah blah. Then Rand's dad and Matt's dad get home. And this is just going to be very confusing for the next, like, the entirety of Perrin's segment. Because he keeps calling them Master Althor and Master Chthon in his internal monologue. And it just, like, it's like that weird, like, dissonance when you see a name and you're expected to be attached to a different character.
Yeah.
So, like, I keep thinking Rand and Matt are there. And being, like, excited because
Matt's there.
Because I love Matt. No, it's just the second best thing. His dad.
His dad is a very charming lad.
His dad is very charming. And what's funny about Abel Chthon is that Perrin describes him as simply, like, a slightly older version of Matt.
Yeah.
Like, still pretty tall. Still very skinny. Like a stork.
Yeah.
Just does everything. And they're like, hey, Perrin, what's up? How's our sons? And Perrin's like, well, Matt has a gambling addiction and probably also a sex addiction. And Matt's dad is like, sounds like my boy.
So proud of him.
I'm so proud of him. And Perrin's like, and Rand is super fucked. He's like, Rand's wearing fancy clothes and he's got a fancy girl on his arm, which is an easier way of saying that Rand is governing a country and fucking a princess. Perhaps less of a shock to the system.
Yeah.
And Tam's like, okay, great, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And then they're all kind of, like, awkward about the Aes Sedai, because the Aes Sedai are just staring at them awkwardly, like, hello, men, tell us your secrets. So Perrin's like, will you come talk to me out in the fresh air, men? And they're like, yes, away from the eavesdropping Aes Sedai. And so then they chat about what's really going down, which it's not like any new information. It's just for the men's comfort, so they can talk about things frankly without the Aes Sedai listening. Mm-hmm. But basically, Perrin's like, yeah, I want to go rescue the rest of Matt's family and the Luhans. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck is up with these Trollocs and the White Cloaks and all, but one time I heard that the Ale Waste is called the dying ground by the Trollocs, and I want to make the Two Rivers a dying ground. And Tam and Abel are like, okay, pump the brakes. You're a little bit bloodthirsty here. And Perrin's like, I am not bloodthirsty. How dare you accuse me, a person with a berserker storyline, of having any form of bloodlust? I just want to fucking sup on their evil flesh.
I want to sup on their evil.
Stop, I can't.
No, it was very funny.
And they're like, okay. And then we go over to Sad Bornhold, and he's sad and is developing a drinking problem.
These things, they happen.
And he tells us here that it was actually the White Cloaks that killed Perrin's family. So I guess that's supposed to be some sort of dramatic irony, except dramatic irony has payoff in fewer than 10 books. For fuck's sake. Yeah. So we're just going to let that one ride for the next 9 books. 9. And he talks to Padan Fain, who is now known as Ordeath, about how Ordeath is bad. And Ordeath is like, I know, but bitch can't stop me. I'm here doing what the main White Cloak dude, whose name escapes me. Which member of One Direction? Niall. Pedron Niall.
Harry Styles told me.
Harry Styles told me.
That I'm supposed to wreak havoc.
Yeah. Anyway, then he goes over to his point of view, which is always, like, horrific, because it's like, why do we have to spend any amount of time in this horrible person's head? But then he goes back to his tent, and he's, like, torturing a murderer or something, and it's like, okay, yeah, just another day in the Padan Fain neighborhood, like, whatever. Who the fuck cares? So the next day, Perrin sets out with Fael, the Ale, and Tam and Abel, and Varen, and her warder, Tomas. Who, we find out that, by the way, that Elena did have 2 warders with her, but one of them died when they were entering the Two Rivers. They, like, got attacked by Trollocs or White Cloaks or something. Well, so she's a little bit messed up from losing a warder. She also flat out says to Perrin at one point when she's, like, healing him, because they kind of get a little healing sesh out of the way. She's like, I'm almost at the point of bonding a man against his will. And he's like, okay, that was creepy, but I hope this doesn't foreshadow anything. And Robert Jordan's like, it does, though.
Hope this doesn't awaken anything terrible in the plot.
I hope this doesn't awaken anything in the plot.
Oh,
but
shit.
It does. Alana's a magic rapist.
I hate her.
She's so terrible. Anyway, luckily she stays home with Loyal. Because Loyal would draw too much attention, and also because Perrin's like, could you please spy on Alana for me? And Loyal's like, I accept this mission. Impossible.
I would like to make her tea, though.
But I also will be incredibly polite. And will mostly be focusing on my notes.
Yeah.
But thank you, Perrin, for making me feel like I am useful to the party.
My baby.
Anyway, they peace out, and around noon, they decide to stop at one of the farms on their way. That is just, like, housing, like, 6 different families who have left their farms to kind of group up in this conglomerate for safety's sake. They send the Ale off. They're like, you guys might be a little bit alarming, so why don't you go? They, like, have their little dead rabbits. Perrin's like, how the fuck are they time to hunt? They had to keep pace with our horses. They don't even look tired. They're like, here we are, just chilling. We've set 19 snares along the way because you all are so fucking slow. But they're like, yeah, sure, we'll go peace out. Then they go to the farm. Long story short, there's a convo about whether Perrin is a dark friend. He's not, but there's some, like, neighborhood chatter. Of course, there has to be, like, one obnoxious lady who's like, but maybe you are. And Perrin's like, okay, copy that. I'm not, though.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, why are the White Cloaks hunting you? And he's like, well, actually, I don't know why they're hunting Rand and Matt. He has a line that's like, something about Matt is just confusing. He's like, I have no fucking clue why they're hunting Matt. What they have against Matt-Cathon. He's like, but they're hunting me because I killed some White Cloaks, because they killed a friend of mine and they would have killed me. Neglecting, of course, to mention that the friend that they killed was in fact a wolf. Which might have raised some queries.
Some questions.
Someone's like, could I stop you there?
I would like to, point of order.
Your Honor, I would like to ask the witness some further questions.
Your friend was a wolf. WOLF.
No, it was a Virginia Woolf.
I mean, that would, obviously, if someone killed Virginia Woolf.
Oh yeah, I'd fuck
Virginia
them.
Woolf, I just said. So, killing it.
Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Woof.
Woof woof.
Woof.
What? Anyway, there's a whole combo. Then Lord Luke shows up. And, there's a funny thing about a dude named Will flirting with Fail. And Perrin gets all jealous.
Isn't Will, like, supposed to be the most handsomest boy in all the
Yeah,
Two
Will's the
Rivers?
handsomest lad in the tri-state area, apparently.
Who would we cast as Will All-Seen, right?
He'd also be CGI. No, he'd be a look-alike of Galad. They'd
So
be
good.
long-lost twins.
They'd be looking... It's the same actor.
It's just the same actor.
Because they'll never be in a scene together, presumably.
No, well, I guess the very last book, the Two Rivers and White Cloaks people are kind of all fighting near each other. But you could easily avoid
You
them
could make
having.
that. Listen, Lindsay Lohan did the parents.
/ I'm not sure if Will survives that long. I can't remember.
It's a throwaway pretty boy.
Yeah, literally, I remember reading this book and being like, having so many names thrown at me initially and being like, oh, fuck. I remember all of these. And now I'm just like, they're all just red shirts in my head. I'm like, all these names are totally interchangeable. Like, some of the people who get introduced here, like Daniel or whatever the fuck, they probably have, like, mini arcs within the series in terms of, like, tracking where they pop up alongside Perrin's point of views. But it's like, why does it matter to me? You know?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
To me.
Which is a little bit sad because when you do have memorable side characters, you get people like Gaul. Icons.
That's my husband.
That's my husband. That's our husband.
Our husband.
We are Bane and Giab.
I'm okay with that.
Anyway, Lord Luke shows up. He, like, is surprised to see an Aes Sedai, and he kind of flirts with Fail, but as soon as she's like, so, you're here for the Horn of Valyr, he loses interest because he hates a woman who, you know, takes any
Knows
initiative.
anything.
Or, I don't fucking know. And then he sees Perrin, and Perrin's like, oh, that was a weird reaction, because he seemed to not only recognize him, but be afraid of him. And Perrin's, like, aware that Slayer is in the Two Rivers, because Tam and Abel mentioned something about just, like, animals being found, like, skinned and things like that.
Gross.
And I'm not, like, saying, like, Perrin should make the connection here, because that's an impossible connection to make. They're two dudes who look completely different. But it's also, like, we, the reader, are like, oh.
Two strangers.
Two strangers. There's never just two strangers. It's either they're the same dude or they're gay lovers.
Two strangers sitting in a hot tub.
Two strangers sitting in a hot tub, or two just dudes.
The same dude sitting in the hot tub.
Same dude, or two dudes who are deeply in love doing evil together.
I mean, I could get behind the latter.
I mean,
Depending
yeah, I
on
could.
what level of evil.
Well, I couldn't if it was the only gay representation in the entire fucking Wheel of Time. Because that would be bad
Are
news.
you out of the hot tub, sir?
Oh, you left the hot tub.
I wonder if we'd filled it up with water one day if he would legitimately just, like, sit in it.
I don't know, we should try it. We could fill up one of our sinks with
Yeah,
water.
maybe not the kitchen sink, that'd be gross.
Well, I mean, one of our sinks couldn't have too much water in it. Otherwise, the water you displaced would be bad. Would just go all over. Thank you. Thank you.
Fat little gentleman.
I know, he's such a fat little tuxedo boy.
Bastard.
Anyway, so everyone's like, Luke's been giving us some hot tips about not dying by the Trollocs.
Here's some hot tips on how to not die.
Here's some life hacks.
how to keep
Constantly
your life in 10 days.
Constantly keep your pre-adolescent boys on the roof, keeping watch. And also, I can't remember, he has some other, like, kind of bad hot tips.
Don't get stabbed.
Don't get stabbed. If you see a knife, run away. And Perrin's like, these aren't good life hacks. They're barely applicable.
If you see a knife, run away.
Perrin's like, that's really terrible advice. And everyone's like, no, it's not. Don't insult Lord Luke.
Don't insult him.
Shut up. Don't insult Lord Luke. He's so handsome and
He's
mysterious. And, like, he's really not. Perrin describes him and he sounds like a scrub.
He is a scrub.
I mean, he also totally is a scrub. But anyway, Perrin's like, you should do this thing that I'm saying, which is that you should all leave your fucking farms and go to the villages and, like, group up in big groups. Because the Trollocs aren't gonna... Everyone's like, they'll burn our farms. And the Trollocs aren't arsonists. They don't set fires to feel joy. They're there for the people.
Yeah.
If there's no people in your farm, they're not gonna fucking touch it. Like...
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just go hang out with more people. There's safety in numbers. And everyone's like, wow, that's some really incredibly good advice. So wise. So wise from a young man. And Perrin's like, yeah, it's good advice. We pack up. Chop, chop, Grandma. And they're like, okay, off we go. And it's like a little bit of male fantasy. Everyone, I think that the type of man who was reading the Wheel of Time books in the 1990s when they were being released correlates to a certain type of man in this era who would, like, read a scene wherein Perrin, an average Joe, a self-proclaimed average Joe, never mind his wolf powers, can just, like, talk to people and not be particularly polite about it or particularly, like, conceding about it, you know, like, you're not conceding to anyone's needs or wants here or, like, really allowing any conversation. He can just monologue and people will immediately do what he says because it's, like, such a powerful monologue. And it's like men want that. Not to, like, generalize all men. I'm sure many men do not want that. But it is a certain level of, like, wish fulfillment for men that just, like, people would do what they want.
Yeah.
If they can present the argument in a powerful enough way.
Yeah, I also think it particularly speaks to, you mentioned the word monologuing. I think there's a certain type of man, we came across a lot of them in our literary degree who are just like, my ability to wield words renders me the most important person in the room.
Yeah, and it's, like, pretty interesting that most of the dissenting voices in this whole argument are from, like, women, initially. Yeah. So, like, just kind of take that as you will. But anyway, then they leave the farm, and with a small coterie of boys with them, who are like, we also would like to go rescue some people from the White Cloaks. And Perrin's like, oh, well, that's fun and dandy, I guess. I would just love to build a small army. And they're like, yeah, this is great. And then the Ale pop up and are like, Olo! And all the men are like, rah! And the Ale are like, what is happening? And they almost all kill each other. But then Perrin's like, no, stop. It's fine. They're friends. These are just the Ale. And the Ale are like, this is fucking hilarious. Because, of course, the Ale have the best sense of humor.
Ale are friends, not food.
Ale are friends, not food. I never knew my father. That's cool.
I never knew my father.
I never knew my father. But then they all sort of start making their way down the road, and Perrin is like, that was THREE Perrin. And I was like, no, that was the author imposing his weird plot device on the narrative.
THREE.
Whatever. Anyway, so they keep going down the road, but Perrin keeps sidelining the whole group to go to every farm he sees and spread the same message and get people headed toward the Two Rivers. But eventually they get to the White Cloak encampment. And they all kind of group up, and Perrin goes and scopes it out. And eventually he just decides, well, we're just going to go on a stealth mission, me and Fail and the Ale.
Me, Fail, and the Ale.
Me, Fail, and the Ale, yeah, the new NBC hit sitcom. But, it's like, yeah, it's pretty basic. He's like, you want to help Farron? And she's like, fuck no. He's like,
Legends
okay.
only.
There's like a whole sidebar where Gaul is like, yeah, I'll sneak with you. And Shiada's like, oh, you'll sneak? Like, says something really mean to him. And then Bane's like, maybe that was a little too harsh, babe. And it's just like this awkward, like,
Yeah.
Perrin's just like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
But eventually night falls and they do it's almost exactly like Nynaeve and Lan's sneaky mission, because the White Cloaks are so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
They have their dumb guard that's just two guys moving apart and then coming back together and proclaiming saying and then leaving again. It's like that scene in Disney's animated Robin Hood.
Yeah.
It's exactly and it's just as easy to get past them, apparently. So, like, they'll just kind of, ghost in.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Perrin and Fail sneak. Briefly, a guy attacks them. This is so classic. A dude just kind of tackles Perrin, but doesn't make any noise.
As if tackling a huge man wouldn't make any noise.
Yeah. And doesn't like, hey, intruders, help. Something's going on. He's just like, no problem. I can take down this burly-ass dude on my own. And Fail's like, nope, I did some blunt force trauma to your head. So he's down for the count. Perrin snags his cloak, then goes to the tent where all the prisoners are, wakes them up. They're all like, a bearded man. He's like, no, it is I, Perrin, village idiot. And they're like, oh, great. And just sort of gets them out, gets them to the White Cloaks horse lines. They all mount up. The only hilarious part is, like, the blacksmith and his wife, super bad at riding horses. They're like, we cannot do this. And they kind of just take off. The alarm is raised right as they run off. One of Matt's sisters is just screaming her fucking head off the entire time.
It's very Chthon energy.
Yeah, then they meet back up with the group and kind of split off, like, ex-captives go with some of the boys off somewhere, and Perrin and the rest are like, okay, we're going to, distract. I don't know what he's doing. You're going to go check?
Nah, you can't get into too much trouble.
Perrin's like, yeah, we're going to head them off and try and lead them in a different direction. And Varen's like, yes, and soon it will be raining. And Perrin's like, thanks for the help, Storm from X-Men. Will you please say something weird about toads and lightning now?
I just need you to stop saying weird shit.
Need you to stop saying odd shit.
I don't sleep.
I only dream. Anyway, I'm sure there was more that I'm missing plot-wise, but it's like...
This was the gist.
Yeah, it was a bunch of stuff that happened. After this, we're leaving Perrin's point of view for at least a little while. God thank you.
Yeah.
A blessed reprieve from the madness. In Sad Bornhald's point of view, the Tinkers are brought up as like, oh, and they're here. And I think someone's name is referenced so that the astute reader can be like, oh, it's the same damn group of Tinkers. Classic. Because of course it should be. Why not? But, that's pretty much it in terms of plot. I can't think of much in the way of analysis besides the male wish fulfillment thing. And I mean, all of Perrin's, pretty much Perrin's entire plot in this book, if not in all of his entire plot, is pretty much the most, like, obvious example of male wish fulfillment. Because it kind of seems like Perrin is constantly doing quote-unquote cool shit in terms of, like, leading people and doing classically male things, like being badass in fights and stuff.
Son of a bitch.
But, he doesn't seem to suffer much for it.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't really any cost to his thing, to anything that happens with him. there's, like, Fail getting kidnapped for a bunch of books, but I think we can all agree that that's sort of a blessing for most of us to have them apart.
Yeah, they're pretty insufferable together.
Like, they're so obnoxious together that it's just like, ew.
I went on a rant on Tumblr one time. Someone's like, why do you think people hate Fail? And I'm like, I think people hate Fail because when she's with Perrin, she's the fucking worst.
She's the fucking worst. And Perrin, when he's with
Yeah.
Fail, is the fucking worst.
Like, apart, they're fine.
I mean,
I like Fail better than Perrin, obviously. They both have their flaws. But when they're apart, at least I don't want to kill them and myself.
Yeah. Fail, like, has redeeming qualities.
Like, I think Fail could have been an interesting character if she didn't immediately get tied up with Perrin.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if, I don't know, they had a platonic relationship before a romantic relationship developed. You know, the way most...
That doesn't happen.
You know, the way most relationships of solid value develop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. What? What? Okay, we gotta wrap this up because we're gonna go be on camera or something in 10 minutes.
Okay.
And it usually takes us like 5 to wind down. Anything else to say?
No, I don't have anything else to say except God bless us, everyone, that we're not going to be with Perrin for the next few weeks.
Thank Christ.
Anything I say now is going to be immediately outdated by the live thing we're about to go on. So kind of just for the future, this will be coming out the week of American Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate it. Please remember Indigenous populations, those who suffered historically because of the arrival of Columbus and all of us white people from Europe. Just remember as you celebrate America that America has a blood-soaked history, and there are still living people who remember that.
Yeah, and whose lives are still deeply impacted in negative ways because of it.
Yes, who have close to nothing because we stole it from them.
Yep.
So on that fun note,
thanks to Glenda McKenzie for our theme song.
thank you so much. Thank you to all of you for listening. Thank you especially to our patrons. We're about to go do the live video to thank you, but you'll know that we have got up to our merchandise goal. Announcements on that will be either in the past, depending on what happens this week, or in the immediate future. Please also keep in mind, just announcing this now, we're going to have an episode next week, the first week of December, and then right after that we are taking an off week because that whole first week of December we are both going to be gone on vacation.
Woohoo!
We're going on a fun cruise through my work.
Yeah, and we won't have like any cell service is my understanding, so we'll also be more or less silent on social media.
Yes.
Which would be good. It's good to disconnect. We're just going to go read by the pool for 4 days.
Yeah,
this is my plan.
No, we're fucking going to bring 9 books each and just read by the pool. That's all we're socializing with my coworkers. Who cares?
I don't know her.
I don't know her. I'm just going to eat.
Yeet.
So anyway, we're looking forward to that. Hope you guys are looking forward to the holiday season. And you have a sign off.
Okay, here we go. This comes from Kit Kat is the name that they gave, which is very funny.
Okay, I'm so excited.
They start with, I want to inform you that I'm not a candy bar.
Thank you.
I would be pretty excited if Kit Kat had a candy bar.
The Kit Kat? Oh my god!
Okay.
It's like that scene in Elf.
Yeah.
Santa?
Okay. I wanted to share a random thing that happened to me and how lost I was. I needed to buy a new hairbrush because mine is quite literally falling apart, so off to Walmart I went. I'm standing there staring at all the choices, feeling very lost, so I decided to text my mother and sister-in-law about how hard it was to choose a hairbrush. My mother agreed, and my sister-in-law was like, "You've never done this? How is this possible?" I admit to stealing the original hairbrush, the one falling apart, off my mother 20-ish years ago. My sister-in-law decided that it was a very long life for a hairbrush. I feel like 20 is a long life, but I've had my primary hairbrush. I have 3 hairbrushes.
I don't own a hairbrush.
My primary hairbrush I've had for, I don't know, probably the better part of a decade. It's like a solid hairbrush.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a good hairbrush, I feel like they can last a lot. Why am I even talking? I don't know
You
fuck
don't-
all about
You're
hairbrushes.
not the authority on this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I probably shouldn't have had that hairbrush for so long, but it was such a good hairbrush that I just, like, keep using it and cleaning it and keeping it.
I'm just imagining this person in a Kit Kat suit just, like, standing in
In
the
a
hairbrush
Walmart.
aisle of Walmart. And, like, yeah, I'll admit, that's an intimidating set of standing in any aisle of Walmart or Target and just, like, staring down
Yeah.
millions of choices.
No, buying a new hairbrush is very stressful. When I bought my secondary hairbrush, which I bought specifically...
So wait, you have a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary hairbrush?
A primary hairbrush, a secondary hairbrush, and my tertiary hairbrush is technically a comb for when tangles get really bad.
Gotcha.
I know where they all are at any given moment.
I found a comb the other day and I was like, what the fuck? How do I have this?
Yeah, but, I mean, this hair just doesn't take care of itself.
I know.
It looks
beautiful,
really
though.
shitty today. I can't believe I'm about to go be on air.
But you look so fly.
Thank you. Anyway, buying a new hairbrush is very scary. I cannot believe that you had one for 20 years, though.
Yeah, way to go, Kit Kat. You are a person of stamina.
Kit
Is
Kat.
what I think.
Why does a Kit Kat need a hairbrush at all? They don't have any hair. That would be horrifying.
Okay, we have to go now, but don't do a war crime.